as well, just so everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of time gap.
Forgot.
Right, so pretty much what happened last time was you all got the kind of material, some of the basic materials needed for, needed to kind of take care of something that may arise if these cultists have their way. You got the headpiece to a very fancy staff that, I think it's Staff of the Four Winds, or Staff of the Four Somethings.
I have
Song
it.
of the Four Winds.
Song of the Four Winds, there we go.
Yeah.
And that will prevent this kind of life-draining effect that these amulets seem to have. So you just completed that. On your way out, you were pursued by a bunch of troublemakers from the land of a bunch of troublemakers working for these like elemental people. They kind of brought up these huge like land masses to chase your airship around. What else happened? Yeah, and then as you escaped, they dropped a few people onto your ship, and then they were able to open up a portal into the elemental plane. And unfortunately, Paddington was like dead center when it happened and dropped right into it. And you were unable to rescue Paddington. He was taken by the enemy, and you were given an ultimatum that initially in a few hours you had to show up at this thing, but now we'll say 48 hours. You have to show up. So as the land masses descended, you were cruising over the land. You saw like huge bodies of water where they had no places belonging. Like as you're flying around the airship, you see kind of in a lake to your right, there's little house like kind of roofs sticking out above the water. You see some civilians kind of looking around like from their ceilings, trying to like get some sort of transportation to the increasingly shrinking shore. You see these kind of huge fields of fire consuming a lot of the forests. So the world beneath you is pretty much in chaos. And then as you reached Red Larch, you saw a divot in the ground, kind of like almost a crater, right kind of where that old necromancer's kind of lair was. And then there's an ancient door that's kind of been exposed by this kind of scooping out of the land. And then half of Red Larch has tumbled into this crater, and there's room, like, trashed houses, stuff like that. The other half still seems to be standing, but you're floating overhead Red Larch, looking down at kind of the ruins of like the land of the desert valley beneath you, and Paddington is in captivity.
Are we on...
You were on the airship.
Right?
Yeah, you're on the airship. Maybe like floating pretty high above the ground. Did you want to jump in with something before?
I feel like the only responsible thing to do in a moment of dire need, we need to save our friend,
Yeah?
is draw a card from the deck of many things.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Unless one of you would like to draw.
No, go for it.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
You did.
Well, here we go.
Also, one thing to clarify.
Let me make sure I get it right.
Oh, never mind. I lied. The same. Interesting.
All right. I just need to get the cards in the right order. This may take just a
Sorry to.
second. No worries. No worries. I just want to make sure I have it right.
Is the deck stacked?
Or no, it's a specific subset of cards.
Ace, diamonds, king, queen. Okay, 2.
It's all suits.
Yeah.
And then 2 is face cards, right?
Yeah.
Including ace.
It's the face cards and the suits. I think I must have had a deck of many things recently in this deck, so they're very close together. Okay.
Just hoping for something good to help Paddington and not the Grim Reaper to come in.
The threes.
Kill me.
The threes are going to be the jokers because I don't think this deck has jokers. So just be ready if you get a 3.
Okay.
you will probably feel bad.
And then because there's only 2 jokers. Which one is which?
I was gonna have the red one be the. There's a red and a blue, right? With TM. Red will be with TM, yeah.
Okay. I see.
I see you're reading along here.
No, I don't know. I haven't looked
kidding.
at what any of these do. I just see the list of, hey, in your deck, here's
Oh,
the
I see.
cards.
Yeah, that's what I
and
need.
like
Right.
the image that's on it.
All right.
Flames. All right.
You draw a card from the deck of many things, or somebody else does if they choose.
Is there one that's just like instant death?
Yeah, probably.
I have no clue.
There's some pretty unfortunate effects.
Is that the right one?
No, the other one.
Okay.
Let's see what that one was now. I'm curious. Oh, interesting.
Ace of clubs.
Ooh, that's probably a good one. Aces are good.
Are they good?
You almost got a 2, which would have been sad. Talons. Ooh, actually, never mind. Hold on.
That doesn't sound good.
No. So it is the card of Talons. I'm
Sounds like a bird.
Are we talking, Jeff?
trying to pull that up as we speak here.
Ooh.
Maybe you
Oh!
talents.
How bad are we talking? God damn it. That wasn't a good reaction.
Well, this will in fact define the course of the game. So
Shit.
suddenly, that gorgeous armor you're wearing shimmers and crumbles to dust.
Nope.
No.
The staff that you're holding
No.
glows suddenly bright. The headpiece explodes. The staff disintegrates. The rings that you're wearing that have magical properties all dissolve, and all of your items suddenly disappear.
So you're naked?
Except the non-magical. Non-magical stuff still is there, but everything of magical properties that you were wearing is now gone.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
So,
We lost the campaign because of you.
so Giles is kind of watching from the background. He says, "Oh yeah, I've seen that happen before." And he just kind of laughs. And he's
What
like,
did you do about it?
He's like, you know, a friend of mine. She's a powerful sorceress. She's got herself one of those decks, and for the right price, she has one. She drew one of the cards from a deck very like yours, and it's a wish card. And she's only used 2 of them. She's got 1 left. So maybe if you talk to her, a few people have been able to talk to her before and get some help from her final wish.
Giles, you need to
Yeah.
take us to her.
He kind of he nods and he says, "Well, you know, that's all really going to depend on the price because, you know, I've been meaning to talk to her and get myself, you know, a beautiful house in the suburbs with, you know, wife and a dog. So that's going to be what I was going to ask her. I was actually going to head there right after dropping you guys off in this hellhole over here, but."
Giles, there will be no beautiful house in the suburbs with a dog if you don't take us to her and help us recover this goddamn staff.
So go ahead and roll persuasion.
I was gonna. I'm not strong enough, but I would have picked him up and held him over the edge of the airship.
Who's the strongest among
I
us?
feel
None of us.
like
Oh.
this is really like a shared blame situation.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it was Chase that got making many things in the first place.
The necklaces that I'm not wearing made me do it,
Yeah.
for the record. Well, this, we should just
Wait,
burn
did you
this
have the
in real
necklaces
life.
on?
No, I didn't.
Can
I can't-
anybody assist you with persuasion, or is this just a straight check?
I'm going to assist you by breaking down crying in front of the
Yeah, you can give an assist on that.
I'm
So you have advantage.
I'm still the new guy, and I didn't want to hurt the group. I'm super sorry about all this.
Oh my god.
Oh, and the deck of
Sorry.
many things dissolves and vanishes as well.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's a
Except
9.
this
This mother, yeah, you can draw it again as many times as you want.
Oh.
I got a 9.
Because you were in fact carrying it. You got a 9?
Yeah.
Even with advantage?
Yep.
Oof. So
Giles.
he says, well, I could just have her, wish for Paddington to come back, and then me and him could just live our life together and not have to deal with all this. There's a lot of other valleys besides the Desert Valley in this world. I can go across country.
I forgot, was Giles with us when Silas was attacking us just now?
Yeah, he was.
Did you know Paddington's allergic to dogs?
Paddington's allergic to dogs? He says, well, then I'm going to go to her and I'm going to wish for Flonase for my friend.
It sounds like we should go there
Giles.
right now.
Giles.
Mm-hmm.
Appeal to your senses
Yeah.
here. Let's look at the facts. A.
Mm-hmm.
We know this doesn't stop here. This will spread the world over.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go anywhere with Paddington. B. You can not only get Paddington back, but you can get riches beyond your wildest dreams in addition to that.
Riches? What riches? You guys are talking about wishing back some staff. How does that help me?
Not only will I give you all of the gold in my possession, but if these belongings are returned to me through this wish spell, anything that we find in the town of Red Larch or in Silas's possession is yours.
Alright, give me a persuasion check.
I feel like this is a useful roll. Okay. Yeah.
It's tripping so hard.
She's like, guys, why are there 5 of you?
18.
18. So he says, alright, I'll take you there, but the place she lives, it's kind of it's a weird place. You don't want to talk to too many other people besides her, After you get so many wishes, she kind of rigged her deck of many things, as they say. If you get enough wishes, it kind of makes you a little funny. So don't. Just be sure to not make a scene or to piss her off, because she can wish for you not to be around as well.
How many wishes does she have left? I thought you said it was 1.
She rigged the deck. She has as many as she needs whenever she just pulls the wish card every time.
We will go talk to her.
That seems unfair.
Can you
but
take
okay.
us there?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, but on your way, I would think about what you have to bargain with for the lady who gets everything she ever wants. And so you take the airship, takes a sharp left, starts heading kind of back towards where the stone monastery was, but a little bit south. You begin, like, in the fire, there kind of seems to be a sphere of influence that begins to pull back on the fire and the water that seemed to be overrunning the rest of the land. There almost seems to be this kind of beautiful, like, golden tree. Like, it's like the perfect autumn. Looks like New England, like right around like in Maine. It's like this kind of perfect.
What is this New England you speak of?
Yeah, it's in the land of Schubertia. But yeah, so you see these golden trees, like kind of like these like brick, like and the fire almost stops right up against this like very nice brick wall with a wrought iron gate that extends for a number of miles, and there is like some water. So Giles angles the ship down and parks toward this pool of water, and lets you off, and he kind of lets you off close enough to the gate where you can get in, but not too close to the fire. And he says, "This is about as far as I'm going to go. Good luck."
Giles, can you tell us more about your friend?
Well, she's pretty strong. It takes a lot of power to trick a deck of many things into only giving you one card. And she's always been a person who likes things exactly the way she wants them. So
How
wants
does she
that.
want them?
Well, I mean, you just gotta take a look around her town and it'll be pretty obvious. She likes things neat, she likes things ordered, she likes all the things to be cleaned up and polished.
Sounds like you two will get along great.
Is she single?
I think if she didn't want to be, she could probably wish for somebody. But there are some boundaries on... She's like, give me another hit! He's like, there are some things you can't necessarily wish for.
How did she...
I'm right here.
There you go.
How did she rig her deck? Do you know?
She used a... Let me see, I'm just trying to check on what the boundaries of wishing is. She rigged her deck by a very powerful magic spell, but she will be very unlikely to share it with anybody because if someone else wishes for her to become destitute and poor and to forget the secret, they could do that and she would immediately forget the secret. So she's pretty set on keeping that particular secret to herself and her deck of many things.
Okay.
About the scope of about examples. Immunity. Good.
Well, now that we've all dropped the ball on this deck, we should really venture forth and go chat with her.
Oh my god. Why did we have... Oh.
I thought it would just impact you personally. It'd be very bad for you.
I should have probably,
We should have probably
given
the staff to someone else.
Yeah. Well, look, maybe we can wish for, 20/20 hindsight on that one. Because, we collectively really botched this, I would say. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Twitchley was the one who was at
it was his idea.
The whole time I was telling him, no, this seems irresponsible. Look at where we are right now. This just seems like a total leap of faith for this deck.
And then Giles leans forward and he says, I just know that I've heard that, using Wish enough times starts to change you. And he's like, I don't know what she's going to be like, but you're going to have to find her in there somewhere. And
what is her name?
Her name? So many demands. Her name is... Let me find somebody's good name. Me. That's all I hear from you people. Her name is Solar.
Solar.
Yeah.
So let's go into the town and ask around for Solar.
Yes.
So you push through the gate. It kind of swings absolutely silently. It seems to be in perfect working condition. Gorgeous wrought iron, nice red brick. The trees kind of march in even ranks towards these very neat, exactly squared brick houses that you can just see in town in the distance.
I put on my nicest
Elfware.
My nicest non-magical
items. All right.
Yeah.
So you dress in formal wear.
Yep.
Anybody else want to make changes before they start heading towards the town?
I'll continue to wear my scholarly robes.
Yeah.
You should clean yourself up a little bit. I feel like. I mean, if we just take a look at the place right now, I mean, even just a certain bar of presentables, I feel like,
Yeah, what a rough draw. That's bad.
On the bright side,
Yeah.
if we all look back, first of all, we're gonna look back on this and laugh. Second of all, it couldn't have gone worse. So there's that.
True.
I mean,
That was a rough card.
You're right, you could have died and that wouldn't have been worse.
I'm getting a sense that some of these remarks are personal. And I'm not gonna take that lying down. But
Yeah.
we'll let that one go for now.
So you so you walk up into the town. All the buildings are laid in perfect ranks, and they set at even intervals. You're kind of in the beginning of a town, and I can kind of maybe draw a simple representation of what you're seeing so far. Just because this town's gonna be somewhat.
She has gotten husky.
She's a badass dude. She's like, excuse you. So you're getting in. It's like the gate's probably like, wait, oopsie, do I have a ink in there? Come on. Almost. Wow. Not what they
Try the other
advertised.
hand.
Yeah. Not what was advertised. Oh, there it goes. Okay, wow. So the gate's here. Airship's out here. And this kind of like gorgeous rank of trees. And we'll say that this is maybe like, each kind of dot perhaps, or each square like this is maybe like about 50 feet. So you're kind of getting to the first block here. And this is when probably the houses began. And it T-stops here. You can't really see anything. There's kind of a very gentle kind of golden fog that masks the back part of the city. But you see everyone walking in this town seems to be like very evenly paced. They kind of take very measured steps. They are very happy, like they're all smiling. They all seem they're very friendly. They're kind of like, their laughter, they're laughing very brightly. And go ahead and roll me perception.
Are you telling me that this is a woman who has wished away slow walkers?
I mean, when you're gonna wish for something. One of my friends used to jog on the Embarcadero, and we always used to give him a hard time because he would, if there were tourists who were just kind of dawdling around, he would grab them, lift them up, and move them, and he would just like grab them and move them and keep running. Hugo.
What?
Like sees people like.
It doesn't surprise me.
That seems kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
19 on that perception.
11.
Alright, 19, 22, and I think you guys are going to need some sustenance of...
I'm going to go get the sustenance right now.
Yeah. It's time to start drinking, folks. 19 and 22. Okay, so you all observe that while these people's faces are very bright, there almost seems to be, there's kind of in their, in like the lines around their eyes, a little bit of almost fear. They have almost a very fixed smile.
This is creepy.
Yeah. It's a nice little, just cozy village in New England. This is where Schubert's from. He actually told me this. This is just really the retelling of Schubert's homeland.
Zach Schubert walking around in town.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the old maid that's gotten his every wish. So yeah, everyone is happily going about commerce. You see people pushing carts, bright smiles, people waving to the baker.
I would like to approach one of these kind townsfolk.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking.
Welcome to the village.
We're new. We're new.
Yes.
Here. We're new here.
Well, we were all new here once.
Everything's going great with us.
Yes.
Nothing's gone wrong.
Excellent.
Yes.
We would love to speak to whoever your favorite person is around here.
Oh man, there's just so many. You and my cat. You are my cat. So he says, oh, well, everyone's my favorite person here.
I can
Bill, the
understand.
baker over there, and he waves, and the baker from the shop, like, waves. And, the alchemist to the left, and there's, shop of potions on the walls, waves. The alchemist gently waves. The mercantile, same thing. So he kind of just starts pointing out, like, random things, and I just love everyone here.
Is there anyone in particular who you feel just inspires this entire town to be on their best behavior?
He kind of... Oh, excuse me, sir. I think I must be going. He turns and just walks away.
That was kind of rude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can see he kind of goes back into the track of waving at people, buying things, selling things, kind of just puttering along.
Can I go over to the alchemist?
Yes, you can. So you enter a shop. It seems this seems a little bit more lived in than maybe some of the other places. There's a little bit more wear on the counters. Like not everything is so spit shine clean. And the person behind the counter still has a very bright smile, but doesn't have that kind of like desperation behind their look as some of the other folks.
Desperation.
Just like the very fixed smile. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Madam. Is it sir or madam?
Yeah, we'll say it's a sir because my lady voice impressions are pretty sad.
Goes by Z.
Oh hello, Julia Child. No, I just watched that movie Julia and Julia. It's very good. Yeah, I'm an old woman, and deep down in my heart. But yeah, so like the guy, he says, "Welcome to my store. How may I help you, kind citizens?"
Hello. It's a lovely shop that you have here.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I work very, very hard, and I always do my best.
Oh, you've done a great job with the place.
I know. Thank you.
Would you like a big hug?
Absolutely, and he gives you a big hug, and yeah. So he says, "What can I serve? I have a few potions of healing here. I have a few potions of regret removal. Your friend looks like he might need a little bit of that." And
We're gonna drop that.
yeah, excuse me, sir.
No, it's great. Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Nice to know you. And you know he has a few just kind of the standard, potions of restorability, which can grant you a spell slot. If you've used a few spell slots, it will restore one to you, and he has a few of those.
Any potions that restore all of your magical items?
Fresh outside.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah. So he says, "Oh no, unfortunately, we don't have that. But oh man, that sounds so tough." And he kind of gives you that overly friendly pat on the back.
Do the healing potions look like they are reasonably priced, or like?
Yeah, they're pretty standard price. Just normal. I think what were we doing for those 50 gold for a greater healing potion? I think was kind of where we were at. I believe so. Yeah, we'll just say you left everybody else on the airship because you were too ashamed to tell them what was really going on. So you're just like, we just gotta figure something out real fast. We're just gonna go to this town. I think maybe we'll do 10 gold per healing potion. Maybe.
Are these just regular healing potions?
They'll be greater healing potions, so it'll be 1d8
Okay.
per. I think that's what graders do. They can double check.
Cool.
It's faster. Just Google it.
And does it look like there's any more restricted special?
Yeah, so as you look
class
around,
base behind the lock potions, or
actually, I like greater healing is 44 plus 4. That's actually really strong.
I'll take 3, please.
So you get that'll be 30 gold pieces, please. So
can we get some sort of bulk discount if we buy
a bunch of these things.
if we buy like 10?
Well, I only have 5. For all 5, I can give them to you for 50 gold pieces.
Would you do 40?
And then this smile gets a little more brittle, and he's like, 50 gold pieces. Go ahead and roll me, what would it be? Charisma of some sort. It could be... Charisma probably would be, or straight charisma or persuasion. Probably persuasion.
11?
So he says, wow, as much as I just love helping my town people out and making accommodations, I have to say that they will still be 50 gold pieces for all 5.
Oh, you drive a hard bargain.
I know. I have to apologize.
How long have you been in this town?
Well, I've been here for nigh on, since I can remember. He kind of gets in trouble looking, says, since I can remember. And he kind of blinks and And smiles again, kind of just forgetting the rest of the question.
Who's the mayor in this town
The mayor?
nowadays?
Like we need government here. We just like to go about our lives. We're a very quiet folk, quiet town, and the only time our mayor comes around is in very rare occasions. We call her our great mistress, and he kind of seems like he seems very uncomfortable, but he can't really back away because it's his store. So you can see him almost looking towards the exits in terms of like.
Your great mistress.
Yes, sir. And those potions, you wanted 5 of them. Is that correct? Five of them.
Yes, indeed.
That's correct.
All right. So then he takes down. You get 3. Gives you 3.
30.
And then he gives you the other 2.
As any kind shopkeeper might do.
Yeah.
Could you impart us with a little bit of knowledge about your great mistress as a parting gift for us customers?
He his kind of shoulders tense. Go ahead and roll me persuasion on that. Let's see how much you can get out of him. This is going to be a more political campaign.
21.
So his smile remains fixed, but he kind of he actually grabs for your shirt and grabs like your collar and pulls you close to him.
Normally, I wouldn't allow this, but given the circumstance,
Given the circumstance, you're so rattled.
Kind of go with this.
Yeah, at least it's not your magic cloak because. Well,
yeah, I really filled you figure line on that.
Yeah. But he says, "Listen, she's been a little different since first it was the town and then it was keeping out the others, and she's been a little different after some of the more recent changes. I don't know much. I'm just an alchemist, but it takes a toll, but she lives at the far end of town, underneath an old hill. She doesn't live above ground anymore, and that's."
Thank you for your business.
And he kind of releases your shirt, and he looks almost shocked at himself, and kind of tries to put back up his smile, yeah. Thank you all very much.
Give him a little kiss on the cheek as we walk out the door.
Thank you, sir. And then he slips you just a piece of paper.
Can I read it?
Yeah, it has his home address.
Oh, okay.
So should we split up, or?
I mean,
split the party.
It's still the afternoon.
The party's only starting.
Good call.
Yeah.
In my inventory, I have, as you said, I have a couple things that I don't actually know what's going on with them. So I have a Book of Doom.
Yes.
Do you know what that is? Am I supposed to know what that is at this point?
I think I have it in here. Let me see.
Okay. And I have something called Fire Temple Stones.
Yeah.
Which...
So the Book of Doom describes... It gives a... Yeah, I guess you had that from 2 sessions ago, so it should be fine. So it gives you a... It's imparts some knowledge on how these amulets operate. Mm-hmm. And as you've been studying it every night during your travels, you realize that it gives you some information on how to destroy these amulets. And you find in the Book of Doom more information about their nature. They cannot be wished away. Okay. They are immune. Yeah, I know. Feels bad.
So they can't be decapitating things away?
Yeah.
No, they can't, unfortunately.
I take it the Song of Four Winds, the staff, doesn't fall under the same protective umbrella.
Because they are, in fact, artifacts, where the Song of Four Things is just a very strong, powerful, magical item.
Feels bad. Potion of greater regret.
I drank too many today.
But it gives you some intuition on how to destroy them. And it involves using the element that they are attuned to, finding one of the like a nexus of power for those elements, and almost overclocking them so they can get, burning so much of their energy that, these amulets always are saying, oh, I'm hungry, burning so much of that energy that they finally run out. And that will expend their life. So by using their energy so much that they just don't have any left, and that will break the amulets. But yes, they do grant, through your knowledge, some immunity to the wearer. But I think the wearer is in the... it's in the ship still. I don't think any of you guys took the amulets. No.
I mean, is it just the three of us going out on this excursion?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So Twitch, I think
Twitch
is
Switch
wearing
got
it right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
The two. He has two of them. I don't know.
Two of them, yeah. Yeah, so he would probably be immune to being wished out of existence, things like that.
Damn. I was actually just going to find this lady and tell her to wish him out of existence, but here we are.
Use the rest of the deck to make sure he doesn't come back.
Okay.
I also have a red glowing spellbook from a while ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay, these are spicy. Glowing spellbook.
I have a bottle of ink.
Yes.
Any, and an ink pen, because everything else is gone. Is that... Oh, no, I take that back. We're good, folks. Little bag of sand.
Yeah, there you go. That's still there. That's.
Yeah.
The ink and paper will allow you to write magic of your own.
They won't, though. Not the kind I need. God damn it.
Little bag of sand.
Feels bad. So your spellbook.
The first card I chose.
Your spellbook is a fire spell, Burning Hands. So, and when you read that spellbook, you suddenly grow familiar with the spell Burning Hands. And it is added to your spell repertoire without having to add or change anything. It just is a new spell that you have. So I'll give you some more damage. I think you have to be within melee distance. Or I don't know if they're ranged. I forgot.
Please?
But yeah, it's a spell Burning Hands. And you had something else you wanted to check up on?
Fire temple stones?
Yes. So those are basic summoning stones for fire. And after attuning to them, you realize that if you apply some of your A spell slot, which is like some of your magical power, to them, you can summon a fire elemental that will obey your command.
Whoa, sweet.
Yeah. So it's a kind of one-time use. Each of the stones, you have two, right? So each of the stones, you'll use a level 1 spell slot, fire elemental. Yes, and then it will crumble to dust, like some other stuff we've seen recently.
I'm a little afraid that Wexley's might mix up Healing Touch and Burning Hands.
It's okay, I got you. Oh, God.
The best stuff is both at the same time.
Oh, thank you. That
Wow.
feels so much. It's so hot.
It hurts so good. It feels...
It's like going to a spa, where they have like the hot stones. It's just like that.
Yeah, it definitely. You take 1 point of damage, but feel better in the long run.
Yeah, but you gain like 10 points back.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so you exit the shop. Again, you're kind of surrounded in, the air smells nice, sort of like Christmas cinnamon. Like there's a lot of like just like nice cozy decorations. Whatever, my apartment. And people are just back going about their business. Go ahead and give me perception checks.
23.
23.
21.
20.
Alright, so wow, all of you notice that kind of the flow of traffic seems one directional almost, where a lot of folks are kind of heading down. So the alchemist shop was here, the mercantile's here. A lot of folks are heading towards, and there are in the back these like beautiful kind of like gorgeous hills, like these rolling hills behind these mountains, just beautiful. Looks like Vale, but they're all kind of heading. The flow of traffic is all heading this way.
Can I tap someone on the shoulder and ask where are you all going?
Oh, it's the time of it's the time that we give to our wonderful community, and they all seem very uncomfortable with what's going on, but they all have very happily smiling, and
I
Shall
know
we
we have
follow them?
I know we have a lot of priorities right now, but we should really pause to appreciate just how nice this place is. I feel like this is just the perfect quaint little town. I don't think we should read too much into the smiles around here.
Yeah.
Probably all
Nothing
fine.
sinister
Yeah.
going on. Yeah. I think
Onward.
we should go participate.
Yeah, I'm ready to donate to this community.
So, if you follow the flow of traffic, you reach a large town square, and I'm going to erase my kind of make-believe mountains back here, but because they're actually much further back. But yeah, so you reach a large town square, and a kind of portly guy, another big smile, says, for all of us here, we are, and he's giving like an announcement. He's like, we are safe here. Our great Solar preserves us, but we must, from the horrors that are going on outside. And, through kind of some, cantrip illusion spell, he kind of shows, these huge lakes of fire that you observed from the airship. He shows these huge bodies of water, and he says, this is what, aren't we all so glad we can stay safe here? And, you see families in the crowd, everyone's kind of looking up. We're so blessed to be here. Isn't it just such a small thing? A small sacrifice to our Solar to keep this community safe and profitable. What you do? Yeah.
Is there a place where you can kind of go hide but still observe what's happening?
Yeah. So in the square, it's cobblestone brick, a little fountain in the middle, and a podium in the back. But it's only bordered really by buildings. So there are kind of alleyways between these brick buildings, and they're all very, very clean clipped, just like 90-degree angle brick. So you can jump between there's probably 4-foot wide alleys between most of the buildings. A lot more shops, a lot more windowed shops, like with pastries, stuff like that here. This seems to be kind of like the mercantile and kind of restaurant, little restaurants with little patios and beautiful ironwork tables. So you can jump but anywhere pretty much.
I think we go hide, watch the people put the stuff in, and then we follow the people who take it.
Yeah, let's slip into an alley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hide in a way that doesn't look too
Yeah,
suspicious,
just don't look
though.
shady about it.
Yeah. So as you're watching, you guys hide. Maybe we'll say behind kind of some of the buildings, right by where you came in. Because if you had gone through the square, you would have definitely been observed. So we'll say, hey, you kind of get behind the buildings here. Go ahead and give me a stealth check, everyone.
Should I bother casting Pass Without Trace?
I mean, yes.
Okay. I'll do it.
I'm going to keep my roll regardless.
Yeah.
So I have to roll disadvantage. I believe.
Well, so you'll plus 10 to both if I cast Pass Without Trace.
15. With that.
15.
With that.
Oh. 24. Do you have to roll something? Your
I
stealth
still have
check.
to roll
Oh,
stealth.
okay. I thought
You got 15 with Pass Without Trace?
Natural 20!
Nice.
Damn.
Maybe that'll cover Adam's horror figure rolling.
15 is not that bad.
I know, it's not bad, but
that
his
was
3.
a 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily you cast Without Trace.
And I'm, 24, I think? Yeah, 24. Is that you or the cat?
We may never know.
But I feel like you know.
Okay, so you all hide successfully. The town, and what you notice is there are a few families step forward with and each of them has like a young kid, maybe under 5-10 years old, and excuse me, and the announcer says, we thank these families for their sacrifice. Those who are too afraid to, who do not want to commit to our glorious community, Now is your time. And then you see maybe a couple, like one or two families, like they still have these fixed smiles, but they turn and they start walking out of town, as if they've been kind of, and they just like walk out of town and they just keep walking. And you can just barely, you probably can't see the town entrance, but you just see like a few families in the back just start walking and leaving. The ones that have stepped forward, the guy reaches into a hat, draws a piece of paper out, and he motions to one of the families. One of the kids step forward. They walk behind the podium and the dais and disappear. And then the presentation seems over. Everyone kind of starts going back about their
Volunteers
business.
tribute.
But yeah, so a few of the families, or you can probably catch a few of the people that are leaving. And they don't seem to be having, they're kind of like, the second they turn around, their fixed smiles kind of fade and they almost seem disoriented. And they're making a pretty quick beeline out of town. The other ones are just going back. It's almost as if nothing has happened. They're back in the bakeries, picking up pastries for the day, stuff like that.
Wait, so what happened to the families that got the paper?
So the families that went forward, one of them got a name drawn, and then one of their kids went forward, joined up with the speaker guy, and they kind of disappeared off stage, or they left the podium. I went back towards kind of the hills, like the hills in the back of the town, whereas the other families, and then once that left, like I think the family that gave their kid up had a few, so then they just went back to shopping immediately after that.
Okay, I want to sneakily try to follow the speaker and the kid that got chosen and see where that's going.
So they start heading straight towards the hills in the back.
I don't want to leave the town. I just want to follow them to the perimeter and see what's going on.
Yeah, and the gate, it's a long ways around. So the hills are encompassed in the gate. So only probably the mountains, like the very picturesque mountains in the back, are not. So the gate probably this starts to become hill country. Oh, it's gonna be too big. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so you pretty much go down a long avenue, more of the same town. Go ahead and we'll see how easy they are to follow, because he kind of ducks into a different set of alleys, and these alleyways behind the podium aren't as easy to track. So go ahead and give me a nature check to see how well you can track this guy.
You got this.
I don't think we're in my preferred terrain, are we?
What's your preferred terrain?
I think it's coastal.
But you don't...
Coastal, forest, or desert?
Well, since this is such an idealized world, we'll say it's your preferred terrain, because it's... Who doesn't want to live here?
Are you proficient in nature stuff?
She's a ranger, right? Or no, yeah. Should be... have a strong nature
My
setup.
proficiency bonus is doubled for proficient skills when I make an intelligence or wisdom check related to it.
If it has the black dot next to it on the skills screen, then it's proficient.
Skills screen, black dot.
Yeah,
No, I'm not. I guess.
nature.
Okay, so it's just regular old nature.
Oh, darn.
Regular.
You should have a high base, though. That's kind of like your spellcasting ability, right?
No.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's intelligence is nature.
Oh.
Which is a little weird. I guess survival.
It is kinda weird.
I think survival is
I got an 18.
wisdom.
Okay, yeah, so you're able to kind of make their way, follow them through these dim alleys, and the road is surprisingly windy, but it always is heading towards this particularly, this hill that kind of seems to overlook the entire town. And as you get closer to that hill, you almost see windows cut into the side of it, like it's been burrowed into and kind of turned into a really nice house. So yeah, but this road starts to dip further down, and yeah, you notice the guy heads towards a kind of a rough wooden door buried right at the bottom of this hill. And the buildings are kind of becoming more closed off. Like these nice big buildings are almost like one solid wall now, and the pathway is just kind of heading straight towards this old door. And on either side of the door, you see you see two guards, well armed, it seems. And the kid is, just following along with the guy, not struggling, smiling very happily. And yeah, so the door shuts behind, the guy brings the kid inside, door shuts, and there are 2 guards at the front.
Alright, so at this point, I'd make a note of where that house is.
Yeah.
And then come back and join them.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I would like to just take a moment to compose myself. I've had a stressful day.
Yeah.
And I want to, really just make myself as presentable as possible.
Just center in. Be my best me.
I give some notes to my fellow traveling companions.
Yeah.
About,
I try to, wipe my face off, but I just smear more dirt on my
I may not have magical gear, but I do have.
But you guys are still
magical
stealth, so no one's
spells.
really noticed that you're around yet.
I still have all my spells, and I will cast Prestidigitation on both of them to clean them up.
So suddenly you feel great. Yeah, you feel nice and polished and sparkly.
Does it do some makeup on me? I get like a nice smoky eye.
Yeah,
At
it's like
least-
the layer or whatever it is, the layers. And, suddenly you notice that the cheekbones are much more pronounced of Piquel Rico. Yeah.
I can make
It matches
a
my skin
color
and stuff.
small mark or symbol appear on an object. So could I throw some of that makeup
Yeah.
that you wanted on?
Yeah, I'd be like, I do this for elves all the time, and it's like really great layering, the tones, everything's perfect.
Contouring.
Yeah, exact contouring. There you go.
So
Yeah, you
before
can tell
we
I know a
go,
lot about that.
If we find this woman, how are we actually going to get her to wish us the items back?
I have a plan, but I feel like I need you guys to react naturally, so I won't let you going in.
So you're telling us to trust the person who decided to draw the card.
I feel like we all
From
drew
the-
the card.
Did
If
we all
look,
draw
if
the
we
card?
don't think about it, though.
I did tell you
Um,
not to pick that first card.
And Twitchley probably had something to do with it.
Yeah,
Reasonable.
definitely
And
his fault.
You know, to be clear, did you stop me? No. So you're a part of this too.
I prefer to just blame Twitchley, actually.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I like that too. Onward.
Okay.
Wait, before we go in,
I
do
have
we want
something
to
that she will treasure.
do we want to find out what's going on with the families that are leaving, or is that just like we think they're just opting out of this community?
We can find out.
Interesting.
We have time.
Can we see any of them?
Yeah. So some of them have been, saying goodbye. And kind of, but mostly many of them have already hit it out. There's maybe 1 or 2 left. They're just icing the squares. So you might lose your stealth, but you all are pretty well disguised. You're dressed up. You have makeup on. Was that the cat? How high is my cat?
It's talking.
Meow, meow. Give me food. I'm fat. Meow. That's what my cat would say.
She's so
You nailed the
docile right
impression
now.
of me.
Yeah, meow, meow, meow. I like stuff in my face. Oh, man. Yeah, it does really mellow her out. So, when she's being a hot mess, there's a lot of people over.
Oh, she's so chill.
Now she's like, can I get some Doritos? We're going to Taco Bell later, guys.
Can we?
Yeah, maybe we can.
Alright, so
So yeah, you
if we
pull
wait-
aside.
if we
Yeah.
break stealth,
So you're
we can
not going to be
re-stealth,
stealth
right?
anymore, obviously, because you're going and confronting
But
someone.
we
So
can
you-
re-stealth again.
yeah, you can re-stealth again and go somewhere. Yeah. And Pass Without a Trace lasts an hour.
An hour, I think.
All right, so that shouldn't be an issue. It'll still be active. All right, so you run up to a family, and they're kind of they still have these. Oh my god.
Why'd you do that, Cat?
So one thing about these guys with the really loud whatever it is, it's like, dude, you get it.
Oh, the motorcycles?
Yeah,
Yeah, they set it off all the time.
yeah, and then you're just like, I'm gonna find those people.
I do. I don't.
Hunt them down.
It's indefensible.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying. But yeah, so you pull aside one of these families. They're still kind of saying a few goodbyes, and they still have this kind of very cheerful smile. It seems to be kind of cracking at the edges a little bit more. There's kind of this particular family that you grab. They have 2 kids. Like one seems about like 10 or 11, one 4 or 5, like really little. And then the mother and father are kind of like holding hands, but there's almost like a kind of a white knuckled grip they have on each other as they're starting to say their last goodbyes.
Can I stay stealthed while you guys go?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna. Sit.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I wanna keep one of us stealthed.
I don't want to alarm them, but I want to be like,
Hey.
excuse me, I Can't help but wonder. This seems like such a wonderful place. Why would you leave?
Oh, well. And the mom, kind of gives like almost an apologetic smile. The dad seems like almost too distracted to kind of react. And she says, well, we had to, if we weren't willing to make the sacrifice to live here and to risk what we are chosen to risk, well, we have to take our chances in the world outside. And she kind of, laughs and casts like a nervous look over her shoulder, like towards the gates where the airship is parked. And she looks and says, "Are you not from here?"
No, we're new in town. We're visiting. But what sacrifice would they ask you to make?
Oh, well, there's always a lottery, this time of year. We those of us who leave aren't really allowed to talk about it. And, she kind of seems very, like, she's kind of, like, joking, like, almost like, hi, and, like, oh, it's just
But
weird.
you haven't left yet.
No, but we're one of the walkers, We have to fulfill our part if we've chosen this path. You can try intimidating, deceiving, any of these things.
How about if you just whisper it to me? No one will hear.
So when you say that, she kind of looks back towards that hill where you would know that's where the guy took the kid. And she says, someone's always listening.
They're busy. They won't notice anything.
Persuasion.
19?
Okay. So well, if we're leaving, she says, well, if we choose to live under the aegis of this place and its safety, well, we have to provide, to be willing to provide fuel if our names are called. You see, our community and it takes more work now to sustain it now that the world has changed so drastically, and to protect it. Excuse me. So we have to, some families, everyone with an eligible child of, and she kind of looks at the younger of the two kids of an appropriate age, must be willing to be open to the chance that their child may be chosen. And she kind of just looks around and said, "Oh, we were unwilling, so we have to forfeit the aegis of protection that lies over this place."
But what the children? What happens to the children?
We're not very sure. We just know that many of the ones that have been chosen, we haven't seen them ever since they get taken into the mistress's house.
I'm gonna take her hand and say, I think you made the right choice.
So she says, "We do too," and she kind of gives another terrified look over at the hill behind, and she says, "But I think we must be really going." And she kind of grabs her family, and her husband is just kind of still looking very confused.
I quickly kneel down and whisper into the child's ear, "If you die in the real world, it's Mommy's fault."
And he looks up at his mom, and he's like, "Bad mother." He's like, "I never trusted her."
Didn't he say there's like a wall of flame and like uproar outside this place?
There is on side. There are, you can see you can see how the families, if you go and check, you can see how the families are kind of navigating the water and the fire. But they're kind of
Instantly
navigating.
incinerated.
Yeah. Well, shit. Yeah.
Alright. So
Okay.
it seems like she's stealing wicked souls to
Or
power
something, using them as
death.
fuel somehow. What if she's powered by innocence?
Oh shit, we're fucked.
I feel like we should not be too quick to judge. This place is beautiful. Everyone is kind. Everyone seems happy. I think we should give her a chance.
I think your innocence will be great fuel.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Okay, so the families that were kind of in the lottery seem to be shopping around, going about their daily lives very happily. Town seems to have returned back to normal.
April, get me some box.
Oh yeah, I can also get you guys.
Thank you.
We can open a bottle. Like
What?
if
No,
you
no,
guys
the-
don't like the
The
box.
box
tonight.
Chardonnay was actually quite tasty.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right.
I'm done though because I have to drive.
Well, we also have bourbon and rum and all those things. So
I
yes,
would like
please
to
do.
venture toward the house.
Okay, so you all start walking
Unstealthed.
unstealth
For me, I don't know about these.
towards the main house. Does everyone agree with that? Going up unstealth to the house?
I
No, restyle.
Re-stealth. Okay, so there's a number of entrances. Like
Yeah,
well, as you move through the town, closer to this big hill, the path that Pikel Rikel went down is a bit more hidden than it, I guess, would seem if you're following someone. There's only like a few kind of alleys that feed into that road that she took, and then once you're on that road, it just is like pretty much straight walls down to this basement area of the house. There's a very nice paved road that almost looks like it's paved with some sort of like metallic shining material, moving up towards like this grandiose front door just carved into the hill itself. So like the main avenue, so like this back avenue is the one that Pikel Rikel took. There's this big main avenue that just kind of like curves its way up the hill, paved in gold, and leading to like a beautiful oak door. So you guys can go to the front entrance. You also see guards there, but the back entrance there are like 5 to 10 guards, like a lot of maybe like 6. I'd say 6 guards in front of that main door. And I think Pete Kelrick probably would have told you that there are 2 guards at the one further south.
Oh, guys, there are 2 guards, by the way.
Yeah.
I would like to unstealth at least myself
Mhm.
and
Thank
walk confidently, chin up,
Yeah.
toward the guards, calmly,
Hmm.
so as not to startle them,
Yeah.
and walk up toward them.
So the guards say, "Any questions about the raffle or the lottery can be brought up in the next town council. Thank you very much."
Thank you, kind sir, so much for the info.
You're welcome.
I actually come
Yeah.
bearing a gift for the mistress, independent of the lottery. I take it she appreciates generosity, and I come bearing an incredibly generous gift that I'm certain she won't turn down.
Do you actually believe you're bearing a incredible gift for this lady?
I do.
Okay, then go ahead and roll persuasion instead of
It's
deception.
not.
You're welcome.
No, actually, that's fine.
Persuasion? Did you say
Yeah,
perception?
persuasion. I said persuasion. Right?
12.
Yeah. 12. So he says, the mistress is not seeing guests at this time. You'll be more than welcome to leave your gift with me, and I will deliver it to her.
Can
Let
I
me-
insight check him to see if he actually would give it to her, or...
Did you go up with him to the front door, or
Oh,
and,
no,
and
no,
you're still stealthed? Okay. Oh yeah.
Good sir.
Yes, sir.
I would like to counter-propose an even more desirable offer for you.
As you will, sir. Go ahead.
I come bearing something that I'm certain your mistress would love to hear about immediately.
Hmm.
Something that she does not have come often. A surprise.
Well, she is not quite a big fan of surprises, as you might say, but I could give you an audience, but sir, some of us guards, we travelled a little bit around this town, and a little bit of spending money for my travels is always appreciated.
Aye, of course, that was never in question. And just for your time alone, I would like to thank you so much, and I hand over 30 gold.
He kind of go ahead and roll me persuasion with advantage.
Same roll twice. 22.
Well, for such a kind gentleman, I'm sure we could find something to do. Come on in, sir. And he opens the door. You see a very nice, just from like the doorstep, you can see a very marbled floor entryway, beautiful golden chandeliers,
Do we see
really
this
well
from
lit.
where we're hiding
Yeah,
out?
if you're hiding pretty close, you can kind of see just maybe a piece of it. It's kind of smaller, but yeah, you see kind of this. You see the kind of the full scope of this very very decadent room, and
I wipe my feet.
yeah, wipe your feet. Thank you, sir.
In fact, I cast prestidigitation. We just
Clean your
clean
feet.
those
We're just
fuckers
cleaning them.
up. Yeah.
So many thanks. In a kind of a very neatly groomed gentleman in a in a very well cut kind of tunic that seems to be like very sharp like woolen material, comes up and says, "I can take you to the mistress if you so choose."
That would be divine, thank you.
So you see
Is,
Hypochondrius walking to the door. The door closes. What do you guys do?
is there a window at
Cool.
all that we can look through?
We're walking down like a little lower passageway, right?
Well, I don't think you've gone through the lower passageway. I think you were watching from a hidden point of view this main passageway. You can try to enter the house through the lower passageway.
Wait, the guards are stationed at the main passageway, not the lower passageway.
There's both. There's only 2 at the lower passageway. There's 6 at the main passageway.
And he was just talking to
And
the
he was
six.
just talking to the 6. That's right.
Okay. Is there a window or anything, or any sort of other
Yeah, at this level, you see some like pretty big, nice windows. There's still a lot of really great light in this room. So like the hill has kind of been cut to have like windows at different levels. So the floor that he went in has kind of like almost wrapping around the entire hill these like very very nice crystalline windows, and then above it you see kind of like a thinner group of windows that kind of like circle this hill in kind of layers.
Is it chimney?
Santa.
Cookies and milk?
You
You said it smelled like Christmas cinnamon.
It's true. Well, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna say there's like a really, like a beautiful kind of a number of like really beautiful brick chimneys that are kind of coming out of the house.
Number of chimneys.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have a nice house, you're gonna have multiple fireplaces. So yeah, a few of them have smoke coming out of them, especially the one that looks like it might be attached to something where the kitchens might be. So there's like a lot of smoke kind of coming from like the back side of the house, where probably servants' quarters, kitchens, and that initial pathway goes in, or that one that you scouted out earlier. But the main kind of entryway, there's like one chimney right above it, but it doesn't seem to have smoke in it.
Is there like a service entrance to the servants' quarters?
The one that the kid went through was probably one of them, and there might be others around the other side of the hill.
Okay, I want to scout around and look for others.
All right, so go ahead and roll me an investigation.
Hopefully others without guards.
Should we crack the door again? It's just a little toasty in here.
Yes.
I think it must be the
I got it.
fireplace.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
It's warm.
it's the one downside of
Thank you.
the cars. It's like the either or of like boiling lava hot
It's
or.
a 17.
All right, so you do a quick loop around the hill. It doesn't take very long. And you notice one other entrance where there just seems to be more servant traffic. It doesn't seem to be as heavily guarded. There is like one person who looks like they're kind of a guard, but they're mostly just waving people by as people with various foodstuffs are going in and out. People carrying furniture, just kind of the general management of the house, and like, servants running out on errands, those types of things. Yeah.
Alright. Do we have any food with us? Are you carrying any food that we can pretend we're delivering?
I don't know.
You should, because whenever you travel, you carry supplies.
Okay, yeah, I'll loaf of bread,
Yeah.
spiced bread,
Spiced
spiced
bread.
muffins that we always
I
have
have
with
my
us.
priest pack with 2 days of rations.
There you go. That'll count. That's fine.
Alright.
So you all load up your hands with food. Go ahead and give me a deception check, both of you.
Oh,
Oh.
That was a critical fail.
That was a 2.
So,
Nice.
so among people bringing in gorgeous, turkeys and hens and like just the crop of the land, you two walk past with like cram rations and like work like food for like walking for miles and miles. And the guard stops you and says, "You two ain't from around here, are you?"
No, sir, I am not. I am a priest of the Order of Life, here to say prayers over your household. I apologize, this was the only gift I could afford.
Then why are you coming through the servants' entrance? Gifts go out the front.
Because I am a servant, sir.
Oh, God.
Roll, roll me persuasion with advantage.
That was pretty good.
Oh, well played. Well played.
Plus 7, okay. Oh, critical success.
And I assume this is your acolyte, eh?
It is. She is. Yes.
Well, you're lucky you rolled a 20.
Wow. This town is really insightful.
So he says, "Well, go on in. The waiting room is up the stairs to your left." So you've been ushered to a waiting room, and you see these kind of very gorgeous like leather couches, very similar to the one you're sitting on, but like nicer and like shiny, and they've kind of like the butlers just the mistress will hopefully be down soon. So, you see a door on your left where you see kind of couches. You can just see someone that sounds familiar. And there's another door open on the right that seems to have all sorts of kind of chemical compounds and like kind of glowing machinery, books. Like it almost seems to be a laboratory of sorts on the right door.
Books.
But wait, but by someone familiar, do you mean him?
Yeah, you see hypochondriacs in that door on the left. Yeah, we'll just say you can tell. So you walk up the stairs, door on the left. You, I think, probably will notice. Go ahead and give me a perception check. And we'll just say you notice that the other half of your party is like up in the servants' entrance, like looking through the door.
I roll my eyes so fucking. I think they wouldn't trust me. They don't like him in here. They would try to find a way to get up in my business.
Yeah, so you're mad. Okay.
Do you message us at all? Or no? No? Cold shoulder? Alright.
Oof. Alright. So you notice hypochondriacs, you kind of sense that he's not really wanting to talk right now. He's kind of has his feelings hurt.
It's fine.
A lot of this stems from a little defensiveness about the whole destroying of the magical artifact that was going to save the world, so I might be projected.
Yeah, a little hurt. Just reeling emotionally. Okay, so you guys can either join him in the room. You can go through the door on your right to that kind of laboratory, or you can keep exploring. The servant's path winds around, and it kind of all the paths seem to almost have like a circular construction, and they'll kind of have like various joints going inwards.
Does it seem like there's anyone in the room with all the glowing potions and stuff?
Not from where you can tell from where you're standing. You'd probably have to like go up to the door to actually get a full investigation. Okay.
Not like shadily, but like quietly.
So you walk past the door. The room's empty, and as you can look further back, you see a lot of what looks like almost a metallic like table in the center, and you see a number of like kind of very very sharp tools like laid out on another table nearby it. Like so, there's like the books, potions, and then a series of like very very sharp objects.
Can I do an Arcana check on the seemingly ritual table?
Same. Can I do it too?
Yes, go ahead.
Also critical success.
Dang, dude. Time to go buy a lotto ticket, baby. All right, so you look at the ritual table, and the tools look like stuff that would initially be used for augury. Are you guys familiar with augury? When you, it's a type of divination where you cut open an animal, look at its insides, and that tells you the future and stuff like that. But it seems to be tools built for stuff like that. But this seems to be not built for just a like farm animal. It seems to be built for someone of a more human size, and you see that there's a lot of what you can sense as very negative death magic around the table.
Do they look recently used?
Not recently. but probably within a month it has been used.
The kid's still alive.
Yeah, but not in like the last X amount of hours now.
I'm drawn to the books. I go.
Yeah, so you go to the books. Many of them are written in a language you cannot understand. One of them seems to describe, that you pull down off a shelf, seems to describe... give me an intelligence check before to see if you can understand its meaning.
Oh wait. What is the number on the bottom again?
The number, the large number is like the dice
there's
roll.
the large
That's
number.
that's like your number of dice, and then the plus number is the one that you would compare. You would
No,
use.
dice.
So like that's like how much your base. That's like your actual stat. Because like whenever you add +1 to intelligence, it'll add number to that base number, and then that number is -10 divided by 2 gives you your modifier. So like let's say you have, let's see.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries, on my knees just don't work. So for intelligence, you have 10.
Yeah.
So 10 minus 10 divided by 2 is 0. So you have +0. But dexterity, you have 18. So 18 minus 10 divided by 2 is 4. So that's how those interact. That's like your modifier.
Oh,
versus
okay.
your-
So
yeah.
since
So it'll be
D&D
just a
Beyond
0
calculates it for me,
modifier.
I don't care about the number on the bottom, pretty much.
No, unless you're adding stats. Because if you said, hey, I want to add a base to my base stats,
I
that's
see,
what
okay.
you do.
So I got 12.
Okay, so you got a 12. You can vaguely discern some runes that seem to... you discern some runes that describe a method of extracting life essence, and the reason you recognize this is it's a very similar spell that you all use to restore Paddington. Or it's a similar kind of idea, theory. But other than that, you're not able to discern much more. So you can keep the book, you can use that spell later if you want, like use it as a spell book. But currently, it's a way of transferring life, in much the same way you guys restored Paddington by doing that.
Got it. I'll keep the book. Throw it
Yeah.
in my bag of holding.
Yes, I will write that down because I will forget that I gave you that. Okay.
Should we investigate the potions next?
Yeah, okay, so go ahead and investigation check if you guys want to look at the potions.
I'm simply wandering around the waiting room.
Yeah, so you're wandering around the waiting room, and as you do... Oh yeah, go ahead. You see a beautiful kind of trophy case of all these different items.
You got a 1?
21.
Oh,
21. Okay, well, I'll do yours first.
Yeah.
So you have there's a beautiful trophy case with like all these beautiful items. You see kind of like a mirror that seems to like not really be reflecting you. It kind of has like this hazy view on one of the walls, and you see a what looks like a kind of like a pull bell that and like in that staircase leading up to like this like what could be like an executive office, a pull bell right by that.
I continue to
And you
walk
can also
around.
go into the hallway.
Yep.
The doors are open now.
I walk around and I appreciate things and patiently wait.
All right.
And I just look thoughtful as I appreciate the art and the trophy case. That's it.
The butler comes in and says,
This is art.
"There's some like painting with like a lot of like splash marks on it." And the butler comes in and says, "Ah, yes, John's reminiscences of sadness. Beautiful, isn't it?"
It speaks to me.
Yes, absolutely, sir.
I'm definitely like,
Can I serve you any
taking-
refreshments, sir?
what teas do you have?
We have chamomile, passion fruit, and a little gin number I make myself, sir.
And a what?
A gin, a nice English tea with some gin in there, sir.
The chamomile.
Absolutely. So he gives you a tea, and he comes back with like a nice little like porcelain cup, presents it to
And
you.
I want to be doing everything like the proper way that like my high elf heritage has taught me of like,
Pinky out.
yeah, like the most prim and proper polite guest behavior.
All right, so go ahead and roll me probably performance actually.
Whoa, this is natural for me, sir.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my performance is not great. 7.
So you don't really nail it. You kind of hold the cup out. You nod. He obviously is like being very polite and kind of nods with you. You bring it to your lips. You take a drink, and suddenly darkness starts to kind of come in from the edges of your vision. And
I take a seat quickly on the couch.
take a seat quickly on the couch as everything goes black and you faint. And now you guys are in the lab.
I wish to be rude to my host.
No.
Sit and wait. Sit and wait patiently.
So you two are in the lab, and you notice a number of potions. You did a very good check on investigation. You notice some of them seem to be geared for sleeping and intoxication, and as you're investigating that one, you hear steps start coming towards the door, and a hide. Do you hide?
We still have Pass Without Trace.
I start mumbling prayers.
I hide.
You mumble prayers? Okay. So so you hide. Give me a stealth check. You mumble prayers.
I'm maintaining the bit. We'll see how this goes.
Ah, sir, I see you've gotten a little bit lost. I was just about to prepare a friend of mine a cup of tea, and you see the butler grab one of the vials. He says, "Come with me to the waiting room, sir."
Good.
And you see him kind of just wait here a moment. Goes to the kitchens. You see him come back with some tea. Comes back and grabs you and brings you to the waiting room. And there's nobody there. Hypochondriac isn't there anymore. It's just you in the waiting room. Would you care for some refreshments, sir?
The only refreshment I need is the blessing of your household.
Go ahead and roll me persuasion. And what was your stealth check?
29.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he had no idea. You hit under a table very well, like Arya Stark.
Camouflage.
26.
Very noble intentions, sir.
We're fire.
Jeez.
Killing it.
Great time to buy
I
lava.
apparently
tickets,
couldn't drink a cup of tea right.
Quite embarrassing stuff. But yeah, so he gives you a seat. And yeah, you are sitting in the way. He says, "Please take a seat here, sir. I would be loath to have you wander off, sir. So if you don't mind staying in the confines of this particular area, that would be delightful." He kind of wanders off. Now it's on you. You have successfully hidden yourself. So you're the last. You're in the house.
Before we got discovered by
Mhm.
the guy, did Wexley manage to tell me anything about the potions that he?
Yeah, he was quickly whispering that, hey, these seem like kind of like roofie potions and stuff like that.
All of them do. Nothing that.
Some of them, I think, he probably found. There's probably a few potions of that probably as a cleric he would not be able to identify. There's probably some that he knows that are associated with dark magic,
Okay.
black magic.
I'm gonna
And
grab one of the roofie potions.
okay, so you grab one of those. You have a potion of greater sleep.
Just chug.
A greater potion of sleep. Yeah, I'm night. Who needs Ambien when? So you're in the room. The butler's kind of disappeared, but you see him talking to some of the guards by the door, and like looking at you in like the waiting room. And he's like, and you see them kind of like debating over your presence. One of the guards starts walking over with the butler. Alright, and they say, "Sir, I noticed you didn't come through the main entrance. What were you doing in the laboratory area?"
I was blessing all of your house.
As kind as that may be, sir, this house is a private residence. What purpose were you invited here? Why are you gracing us
I
with
presented
your
gifts at the service entrance where I am a servant, and they ushered me inside. I don't know what else to tell you.
And what gifts did you present?
Only my humble rations, for it's all I can provide. My true gift is the blessing.
Indeed. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
I swear to God.
Another 20.
26.
Holy shit!
He says, well, kind as your sentiment is, I will take your gift and thank you very much. And he starts guiding you towards the exit. He says, thank you. Takes the rations. He puts them on the little table. And he says, thank you very much. And starts
But you have not accepted my true gift.
What
I
is
must
your
bless your master.
Ah, yes. She's quite busy, sir.
Too busy for the blessing of life, I see. Very well. I shall relay your message to the church. They shall be informed of the presence of your household and the stature of your master. And I shall let them know that your town is in no further need of any blessing.
Well, let's not be hasty. Give me a... first give me a performance check. And then give me a perception.
It's a 19 performance.
Yeah, so he buys it. He buys it.
God,
And then what?
And then what's the perception?
That's only an 11.
So you notice just a little too late when the guard seems to have a small vial of blue liquid in his hand. And the butler says, resolve this for me, please. And the guard grabs you really quickly, shoves this blue liquid into your face, and suddenly your vision starts
I don't have
in.
the chance to resist him?
You can has a pretty bad perception.
Yeah.
You can give me a con saving throw. See if you can tough out the
Spit it
lesser.
out?
Yeah, to spit it out quickly.
Con plus 1.
No.
That's the 3. So no.
Alright. So you
It's all
suddenly
over.
collapse to the floor. So now, Pikel Rick, you are alone, and you see suddenly you're in the lab, right?
Yeah.
Still, okay. So you see what looks like a familiar pair of very polished, very clean shoes slide past the door as like someone's being dragged up a set of service stairs. And then you see a set of clerical robes kind of swish past the door, being dragged up
So they're
towards
going
the-
to the same
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
Do I see anything that I would know would be an antidote to the sleep potion? I'm in the lab still.
Yeah, you can see a few potions of wakefulness. You probably are familiar enough with magical stuff, and one potion of healing. And a minor potion of healing will still, I think, resolve some effects, some status effects.
Okay, I grab all 3 of them.
All right, so you get a potion of healing and 2 potions of wakefulness, and you see the butler and a few of the guards dragging dragging your unconscious teammates into a small room. They kind of lasso them onto these chairs. And you can hear, give me or you can probably just hear the butler because he doesn't think he's been listened to. So you can hear the butler kind of saying, I don't want any more of these guests coming in. You know the mistress's state of mind. She's very fragile at this moment. And if anyone from the outside interferes with her, our beautiful little life will come to an end. Do you want that? And the guard's like, no, sir. And then you can hear like him smack the guard, and he says, "Now, don't let anyone else in." And the guard kind of like, blearily walks out. The butler is like busy lashing your friends into these chairs, and he has his. Oh yeah, I'll let you react first. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so I'm still in the lab, but I heard this.
But you heard this just because he's shouting because he doesn't think anybody's listening.
Right. So I'm gonna wait for his footsteps and the guard's footsteps to go away.
So the guard departs, but the butler stays in that room.
Butler stays in the room. The room being the room.
That,
right
like, kind of
outside.
like the room, like a few doors down in this kind of like circular
Where I
servants
saw
area
them being
where you saw
dragged.
them being dragged, yeah.
Okay.
So he can hear kind of like clinking of like, glass and stuff. Yeah.
King of glass.
Yeah. Like kind of like test tubes kind of clinking together from
Okay.
that room, yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Let me just write down the 2 potions of weight.
Yeah.
Before I forget.
So while you're doing that, you both suddenly come to life, and you see, the old butler kind of pouring something down your throats, and he says, "Listen, I don't know what kind of gifts you bring to my mistress, but we have a very happy life here, and I know disturbances when I see them. You have 2 options."
Are we together?
Yeah, you guys are both. He's woken both of you up. You guys are both. He's kind of interrogating you. You either agree to obey whatever we tell you, or I kill you right now.
Obeying sounds pretty good. Obeying sounds good.
While
And
this is
you're
happening,
hearing
I
this,
want
yeah.
to stealth towards the room.
Yeah.
Whatever the mistress wishes, as long as I get an audience.
That is not what we were going to ask of you, sir. You see, the mistress is in a very fragile state of mind right now. Her duties have taken a toll.
That's precisely what I'm here to fix.
I doubt that you can fix that, sir.
And would you like her finding out that you passed up that opportunity?
She will never find out that I passed up that opportunity, sir, because she will continue happily enabling our life to stay the way it is.
I don't know if you noticed the airship outside your kind, quaint town, but it is filled to the brim with further messengers that will come in an attempt to aid your mistress. I am but the first of many.
Do you think I am so weak to not be able to repel a few insolent visitors? And he kind of holds out his hand, and like kind of a glowing sphere of energy like congeals in it, and
Does
he
seem
winks
like
it out.
actually powerful, or like he's bluffing?
Give me an investigation check, and anybody else wants to buy
Would that
it.
be investigation or
yeah.
insight?
It could be either. Whatever you prefer.
Natural 20.
Noise.
All right, so you sense that he's tough, but he's not that tough. He's probably overemphasizing his strength a little bit.
Do I notice the,
And you guys are both considered grappled by these ropes, so you can test yourself against the ropes.
Can you cast
And
spells while
very-
grappled?
Yeah.
Yes, with I think only the grappling thing as the target. So you could, let's say, cast a spell against the ropes. I think so. You could try to like burn the ropes.
I think
But you can't cast them against anything else?
I think
You might be able
can.
to. I might
Yeah.
be wrong. I might be right.
I think
that
if you're,
one I'm
I
not
think
so
if you're
clear about.
restrained, it limits what you
Oh,
can
that's.
do.
I think you're right. Well, maybe. Because I think you probably are.
Restrained is you can only attack the thing holding you or like make checks
I
against
would
it.
say that because you are tied up right now. He waited until you guys were pretty secure before he woke you up.
But fuck, what is the S in? But depending on like how the spell was cast, right? If it doesn't require hand gestures or anything like that, if it's just verbal.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
probably do
yeah.
that. Yeah, you can probably do that.
I'm trying to see what the what are those called? I'm trying to, because there's something I would like to do.
Yeah.
Can I say to him first, you may be an able person,
Cool.
but weigh that against the consequences of your mistress finding out that you neglected every opportunity to make her life even better.
I've weighed that very heavily, sir, and I dearly don't wish her life to improve. Her current malaise has enabled us to continue to live here with the appropriate sacrifice required to keep this community functioning.
Noted.
It doesn't say anything about spells while restrained or grappled.
Are there any restrictions?
Maybe not. I mean, I'll just go for it. If you have something cool to do, try it
Okay, I'm
Do
gonna
I-
cast.
oh.
out.
I'm gonna cast 5th level Geese on him.
What is that?
So he needs to make a Wisdom 16 saving throw. Otherwise, he has to do what I say.
Jeez, feels bad.
He
What
could become
is the name of the
charmed.
spell?
He becomes charmed. You issue a magical command on a creature that you can see within range, forcing it to carry out some service or refrain from some action or course of activity as you decide. If the creature can understand you, it must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you for the duration. So
For
Wisdom
how long?
16.
So he suddenly jerks upright and he says, "How may I serve you, sir?"
Yes!
Free us and take us to your mistress.
And he kind of,
You can resist, but you take 5d10 psychic damage.
I mean, he probably does not want to do that, so he will definitely be taking that damage. So go ahead and roll 5d10 psychic.
Okay.
And I guess we're going to roll initiative, because does that start a battle, or does he just
It
have
just
to
says he takes
obey?
5d10 psychic damage.
Does he still,
So he is going to resist it.
is that the price of not doing it? Cat, you little stinker. I know you want to go outside, but scratching my screen isn't how we do it.
So it just While the creature is charmed by you, it takes 5d10 psychic damage each time it acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once each day.
Okay.
Oh, so he doesn't even break the charm? It's just if he tries to resist, he takes the damage and continues being charmed? Or does he break
He's still charmed. Well, I think he still is capable of acting in a manner directly counter, but he just takes this damage.
He can only take that damage once per day, or he can only resist
I think he can only take the damage once per day.
But can he resist more than... Well, there's no way he would be able to resist more than that, because... Then if he could, then what's the point of the spell? I
don't know.
Yeah.
How you interpret
I'm open. Yeah, let me think here. It will be more fun. Close magic command creation within range.
Hi, cat.
It takes each time an acts in a manner directly counter to your instructions, but no more than once each day. Creating an understanding is unaffected. Sort of a. You can't make any action, dismiss it, and move creature. The duration is 1 year.
Oh my god, April.
Go wash your hands.
Should you issue a suicidal command, the spell ends. Short of an activity that would result in certain death.
Hi, cat.
My guess is that he would be very strongly incentivized, because this is his entire way of life that he's sacrificing. So he will probably take the damage and try to fight you guys and disobey.
Okay.
But that is a lot of damage to take, so that'll probably put you at a very good terms in this battle.
But it's only him up here, right?
It's only him.
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's bounce this funky booty.
Alright, so go ahead and roll that psychic damage.
4.
Here, I'll keep count.
3.
Oh, sorry.
7.
I'm counting the number of dice
so
that you're counting.
7.
Okay.
Plus 8 is 15. Plus 7 is 22. Plus 9 is 31.
So he...
5d10?
Yeah, that was 10d10 or was it 5d10? It was 5d10, yeah. That's going to do a decent chunk anyways. He's not that strong. So 31.
Mm-hmm.
So he's looking bloodied. So immediately, like, he's resisting your command, and like blood starts kind of coming out of his nose and his ears and his eyes, and he's straining against your psychic enslavement of him, and he seems just like kind of weakened after shoving off the assault on his mind. But then everybody roll me initiative, and Peak Elric, you're still available to do a few actions. If you do, or if you want to join in on this fight, you can let us know as well.
Sure.
So your call.
15.
9.
15. So you can either...
Wait.
I'll give you a couple more free action rounds. 10? Oh, that's fine.
Cool. I'm gonna.
Yeah, so you probably have another... While this is all transpired, you probably have another round of free action you can take or two.
Okay, I wanna. Can I just get off a free shot on him before the combat starts? Or
Yeah, you can get 2 free shots on him.
2 free shots? Oh, 2 because.
Because you have 2 free actions, yeah. So... And I think you're stealthed, too, so like that probably gives you advantage on attacks.
Cool. I will do that.
Yeah. You guys are probably... This old guy probably picked the wrong fight.
So advantage on both?
Yeah.
Alright, 17 plus 8 is 25 for the first one.
Okay. That'll hit.
And 24 on the second one.
Alright, that will both hit. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Bourbon smells yummy. No, I don't want bourbon.
If you want this wine, I should probably stop.
Okay, just as long as you don't have Super 8s.
Not that I'm aware of.
Cool. That's yummy wine. That's actually not bad.
That's why it's super.
Yeah.
So I think I get an extra 1d8 because he's already down
Yep.
for the psychic damage. So
Yep. It's a Colossus Slayer. Yep.
9 plus... So 11 for the first hit.
All right.
6. And 14 for the second hit.
Nice. Jeez Louise, you guys are wrecking this fool. So it's 25 all in. So he's looking pretty beat up. So now it is on him. He's gonna start, and then he is going to stretch out his hands, and kind of a like a poisonous kind of fog is gonna just emit from his open hands and kind of fill and choke the small little room.
Oh, hold on. Do I need to roll initiative? Or... Yes,
please. And are you in the hallway, or are you pretty close? How far do you have to be to attack?
I have 150 range on my bow, but I don't know if I have...
It's a pretty narrow hallway. We'll say you probably dodge this attack, because it's only like a 10-foot radius.
Okay.
But you two both give me a Constitution saving throw.
Ugh, 3.
So you failed.
6.
Okay. Fortunately, this guy isn't super beefy, but he hits like a brick. 9 plus 7 is 16.
I have 2 numbers on my range.
19, 24.
Anything...
Is that like... If I have in favorite terrain or something?
No, that's long range.
31.
I think that...
So you're going to each take 31 points of poison damage.
Nice.
I think that means that anything within 150 feet or outside of 600 feet is disadvantaged.
And because you both fail the check, you're going to be poisoned, so your next attack is going to be at disadvantage.
Can I... I'm going to absorb elements as a reaction.
Does it do for poison?
Acid. Nope.
I mean, maybe it... Let me see, Poison Cloud. Let me see what damage type that is. Toxic Cloud. What type is it? She is, though. So it's evocation, so it's not really elemental,
like
exactly. Toxic Cloud.
After a couple of bad years.
Thick Thor.
Yeah, she's thick Thor.
THICC.
She ain't fat, bruh. It's just a little thick. Yeah. Holla. Holla.
Meal, not a snack.
Yeah.
You said Toxic Cloud?
Yeah, I think it's one of the ones in it says it's evocation. So I don't know if that's necessarily...
So presumably it's a...
It might not be in that one. It's on the website, but I don't know if it's in the...
I think it's a spell that even I can have access to.
Yeah.
Right. How do you spell? Where does O go? No, I don't have it. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it says evocation on this one. I'll look at Poison Bolt and see if that has a separate thing. Toxic.
No, just no. Toxic Cloud. Basically,
does it have to be elemental? Because it's like
I mean, it has to be specifically acid type damage. Yeah, which if it's not, then it's
I don't
not.
think that's acid. No.
I just
con saving throw.
acid versus poison.
Yeah, it treats it even in like if you accidentally drink poison, it treats it as like a kind of a generalized static effect. It's a non-elemental. All right, so we're gonna say, unfortunately, that does not work.
So 31 points of damage.
Yep, that's right. 31 points, and then you guys are both at disadvantage for your next attack until the poison.
I had gotten a 7 on my initiative.
All right,
15,
nice.
but it's
So
okay.
you'll be right before. So then you guys all get to go before his next turn. So go ahead and
Who's
it'll start with Wesley Wexley.
I'm just gonna cast second level Cure Wounds on Hypochondrius over here.
Nice.
So you get 2d8 plus 4.
Nice.
I appreciate
It's
you.
a 3. That's an 8, 11, 15.
What a stud.
Good.
Thank you.
Rolling so well.
Now it is on Hypochondrius.
I'm really not a fan of this guy.
I'm not a fan of you guys.
I'm like super not a fan. I'm gonna magic missile him, which is gonna hurt. Wow, that's really gonna hurt.
Is it overkill? Do you want to save it?
No, I really don't like this guy.
Okay.
He's getting in the way of the mistress, and I feel like that's just not the thing to do around here. 7d4 plus 35.
Do you need your hands to do that?
See, I don't know what the V and the S are. And it doesn't matter, I don't think, for grapple. I just
No, I
looked up
think
grapple.
it's verbal and VS.
Both grapple and
are-
restrained don't say anything.
Grapple
about
doesn't
spells.
affect spell casting ability.
No, it shouldn't.
It says, grapple says, speed becomes 0, can't benefit from bonus to speeds, and then conditions which end it. It's basically you can't move.
I think that's fair. Yeah, somatic is a gesture, so it does require gestures.
Which I think should be fine given the definition of grapple. I think it's restrained that prevents it, right?
No, restrained doesn't say anything either.
Spell requires somatic. The caster must have free hand use of at least one hand to perform these gestures.
Oh.
So,
So independent of the grapple.
if it has an S, if it has an S on it, you have to have a free hand.
It should. I wish it would say that here.
How do I break grapple?
You would do a strength check against the ropes, or you would try to do some sort of technique with an item, and that would just be like a
Ooh,
random
how
check.
about... Wait for it. Bonus action, I Misty Step out. Oh, does it have an S? No, it doesn't. Verbal only.
There you go. All right. So then you
Okay.
can bonus action.
I am going to bonus action Misty Step out, which is second level, which means I can still cast a higher level action.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm into the
Really hate
I'm
this
into
guy.
the overkill. This
You
guy.
really hate this guy.
1, 2, 6. No, 6,
I'll check the dice.
10. Okay.
Wait,
Yeah,
you're on 4.
that was my fourth.
Yeah.
10, 11, 14, 17, 52 damage.
So you are sitting in your chair. You suddenly vanish. Your bonds just fall loose, and you pop up right behind this mother effer, and you just hold out your hands and just gets shredded by magic missiles. And then just there's not really a recognizable corpse. There's just chunks of
I take so much gratification.
yeah. So he just gets obliterated.
I was being
and,
the most polite fucking guest, admiring the art. You put this dangly little rope in front of me, trying to get me to pull it. I didn't.
yeah.
Mm-mm. Nope.
You did everything.
That's a
by
bad
the book.
host.
He
Yes,
was a
me.
bad host, and he paid the price for being a bad
He did.
host.
He fucking died, which is the price for being a
Yeah,
bad host.
so you guys are now out of combat because I guess you'll hit like bricks now that you're level 11. That's fine.
Oh,
That's fine.
that's yours. Okay, this is okay.
I go over and
One
I
or the other,
cuff
doesn't matter.
Lexi.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so you all are in
this
this kind of storage room. There's kind of dry goods on the walls. You see, there's not that much traffic in the servants' quarters. But yeah, you can try to go up to you. You kind of have the houses at your disposal. There are still some guards at the entrances, but this commotion was kind of so brief and abrupt, and there's already enough commotion. I don't think any of them
Do we-
would have heard it.
Do we-
Lexi, do you need to heal up before we go in?
Yeah, probably should.
I have healing potions. You probably have healing potions too.
So, in the attic.
I'll use one of those greater healing ones.
All potions. Did they get disappeared? Did they get Thanos'd by the many things?
All the potions?
All of my potions. Do they count as magical items, or do they? I don't know what they classify.
I'm gonna call them non-magic because they're outcomes of a magical process, but I don't think they're magical items.
Okay.
Unless they're like a very special kind of potion, like that has like a very unique effect. Like healing potions, those are pretty operational.
It wasn't going to be a healing potion. It was going to be a different potion, but I don't know how special it is. I purchased at the Stone Temple a potion of luck.
That one probably is fine. It's again a byproduct. It will increase your charisma and luck rolls, and it will give you advantage for big
how
rolls.
long? Like an hour? Or...
Yeah, probably for like 30 minutes.
I drink it.
All right, so suddenly, you feel great, and yeah, you just have the intuition that you just want to talk with the lady of the house. You just want to have a nice combo.
Is it clear from this room where she might be?
You know from your waiting room that it would just be at the top of those stairs, most likely.
Is that where we are now? Or?
No, you got taken out of like the guest waiting room and put into the kind of a storage chamber. So you would just pretty much come out of this hall, go back to the waiting room and up those stairs, and you might be able to see the mistress.
I'm just going to cast a couple spells first, just in case. I'm going to cast Mage Armor, which puts my AC to 16. And I'm going to cast False Life at 3rd level, which gives me 5 additional temporary hit points for each slot above first. So I'm going to cast that at 3rd level, which gives me 1d4
10.
plus 4 plus 10 more. Right? So 1d4,
yeah.
2 plus 4, 6 plus 10. So 16 temporary hit points.
Okay. So you suddenly feel this kind of field of protection swell around you, and you guys are still in that kind of storage chamber. They're just dry goods against the wall.
Is there anything that looks useful in this room?
Not much. If you kind of kick through the chunks of the guy's corpse, you might be able to find something. But
check the guy's corpse.
Yeah, so you kind of like
Quickly
push through the goo, and you do find an old dagger that seems to have a ceremonial purpose that doesn't seem to have been affected by magic missile, and it kind of has like almost like a Chris-like curve to the blade. And you are unable to identify. You do feel that it does have magical properties, but you're unable to identify what those properties are.
I'm just gonna say magical dagger from Solar's butler.
Yeah. It's always the butler, guys. You should have known this from the beginning.
He was the butler all along.
With
Son of
the
a gun.
candlestick and the... Okay, should we go?
Yeah. Okay, so you walk up. You walk up to this like very, very nice marble staircase leading up. The guards at the front door don't really seem to notice. They're far enough away where the sitting room is out of view. These very neat marble stairs march up to a entrance to a what looks like a very ornate door. There's the bell cord there. Your call as to how you guys want to.
I would like to
Just go on up.
calmly and confidently walk up the stairs, chin high. We're going to try this again.
I'm actually down for that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So you all calmly walk up the stairs. You push open the door, and it opens onto this very, very beautiful kind of penthouse suite. It's kind of the top of the hill, so there's tons of light going in, reflecting off this like gorgeous marble. Really nice bookshelf in the back. What looks like almost like a sleeping chamber. It's sort of like a big studio where there's like kind of like a bed chamber on the side, kind of like a place to clean and wash. And a kind of a sitting room in the very center where there's a few couches, very, very fine quality and make. Everything's white marble, white stuff on the couches. But there's this kind of like what seems like an old woman dressed in kind of this very dark, kind of almost a funereal kind of clothing, and on kind of like the dining room table or on one of the couches, bound very tightly, is the kid you guys saw in the town hall. And you can't see exactly what's transpiring between them, but you can see that seems to be talking, and she hasn't noticed your entrance. You guys have walked up very quietly, didn't slam open any doors though, even though you walked up very proudly. But she seems to be talking to the kid, trying to explain. It sounds like something.
What is she saying?
Perception check.
Should we all?
If you want to listen in, yeah.
I like eavesdropping.
13.
50.
Okay. So you can just make out the old, kind of like a very withered voice, kind of whispering to this kid and saying, "It's the only choice we have now. The world outside has become too dangerous. All of my advisors say that this is the only course left. I'm sorry that it has to be like this, but at least our community will survive at this terrible price we've agreed to pay."
I clear my throat.
She jumps up. "Oh, who's there?"
Hello. You must be the mistress of this fine town.
"I am, in a way, though I very seldom talk to its people anymore.
Why is that?
It is hard to face those who you've wronged in far too many ways."
Did this child wrong you?
"No, I've wronged him. It is unfortunately a necessity of protecting a safe haven for my people."
What about sacrificing this child makes this place more safe?
And she says, "Who are you to ask me questions in my domain?" And she snaps her fingers at the doors. She's like, "Oh, food?" Sometimes that means food. But she the doors snap shut behind you, and the windows shut, and it kind of leaves you in just torchlight darkness in this room. "Who are you to ask me about my business in my domain?"
I'm merely a visitor passing through who admires the town that you've created and wishes to learn more.
Give me give me persuasion.
Meanwhile, can I do some sort of check to find out if there's anybody else hidden in this room?
Investigation.
10.
So she says, your intentions are very kind, but I have far too many concerns to explain the course of my little society to a stranger, unless they can help me in some way.
I can help you in a couple of ways, if you can help me.
And how can you help me, someone who has everything I could ever want?
Well, 2 things. 1.
This body.
I do.
We'll get to that, man. 1, you only know, as a preface, I know a bit about how you've come to create this town. How you've managed to gain access to powerful abilities that were not originally innately your own, but have now become your own. And I know what some of the extent of those abilities are. So, there are 2 things I can offer you. 1, you don't know to wish for things you don't know about. I can provide those. For instance, you may not know about all of your servants working against you and using your power to further their own means.
She kind of nods. She's interested.
And the second is someone who would willingly be here, knowing your power, to help run this town without you using a wish spell.
She kind of sighs and she says, "You have half the equation correct. My servants have grown far too comfortable with the necessities of our life. But it isn't a need to run this town that I need help with. It is unfortunately, as someone who's used powerful artifacts before, she kind of holds out her kind of very withered hands and her kind of, floppy skin, and she says, you must know they always come at a cost, and wishes are no exception. And unfortunately, I've no longer been able to pay the cost to keep our community safe. So our community has chosen to volunteer some of its number to keep paradise intact. And I am the only one with the knowledge and the ruthlessness to make the sacrifice necessary. And she kind of, kind of leans back, and you see this kind of very ornate, looks like kind of like an old, almost like a wooden dagger that probably was used for rituals and sacrificial purposes, sitting on the table between her and the kid.
You use the word volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
But you have quite the captive audience in this town. Do you really consider that their willing sacrifice of their own children to keep running this town, or would you rather find a way out of the predicament you've created with somebody who is not under the power that you hold?
She says, the challenge is not my world, but the world around it. If I take down the protective aegis, if I don't use another wish this month like I've used last month and the month before that, you from the outside, you've seen what it's become. I will not let my community follow its fate.
And if the world surrounding this town were to improve?
Roll persuasion.
Does she seem like she's unhappy about sacrificing these children? How does she seem like she feels?
Natural
Insight.
20.
Ow!
Nice. So give me an insight check and then
Okay. Also, I had gotten 18 on the check to see if there was any guards.
Oh yeah. So when you did that check, there were no guards around. They
No,
probably
summons or
believe that
anything?
she's pretty fine to take care of herself.
Okay.
The guards are more just to manage the kitchen staff. So, or the order of the house, really.
Okay. And
So, yeah, nothing
insight
too
check
much.
to see if
She also did say that she had
17?
wronged the kid and wronged a bunch of people in the town.
Mhm.
that's true. Okay, so 17. On
Yeah,
this
so
side.
you can tell that she is not. She does not like the way things have become, but she deems it probably a necessity to keep using these wishes to protect her town, and yeah,
Unless she had a way out.
perhaps. So then you got a natural 20 on your persuasion roll for what if there was another alternative.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, "Listen, if there were any other alternatives, do you think I would be explaining to a child right now why his death is necessary to protect his family?
Do you know what's going on in the world outside right now?
I'm far too familiar."
Describe it.
Oh, well, some of the old folks like myself who've been around a while have seen the elemental cults rise and fall in the past. I'm not as young as I look, and she looks ancient, so
You don't look a day over 20 for what it's worth.
flattery is not necessary. But she says, yes, there have been cycles of elemental cults coming in the past, all trying to summon their god. And the only thing that can at least let a small piece of paradise weather the storm is this. And she holds up this kind of very ancient version of Deck of Many Things. But give me Arcana checks.
21.
23.
Alright.
19.
So you all see that there are these kind of with your Arcana, you see the Deck of Many Things in her hand, but it kind of is blurred. And then as you use your magical senses to explore it, there are these kind of red tendrils of light extending from her arm around it. And they seem to be kind of manipulating and kind of changing the way that the magical flow of that artifact is operating. So she says, there are only a few things that can even withstand what is about to happen. Their power is beyond my changing, and my range and scope is small.
And if I told you that standing before you were part of a group of powerful adventurers that were capable of enacting that change, what would you do to help them accomplish that?
I would support it, but I refuse to demand more than one wish from my people every month. So I would require, if you were to, I would require making my town vulnerable to grant you this wish. Or I could protect my town for another month and use the final portion of my own life, or one of yours, to complete the last wish.
You said that you had seen elemental cults come and go.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the ones in the past?
The ones in the past were struck down before they grew this powerful. There were other agents such as myself who could govern things better, but many of us have gotten weak. I've heard one of my dear friends, the queen, the elf queen, perished recently in a bit of a misadventure. And
She's a dear friend.
indeed.
No, she was a dear friend of ours.
Yeah,
Yeah?
that's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was saying indeed to
Yeah.
her being a good
Yeah, well, both, yeah. But yeah, she says yes, but, and there was a sage that had some influence and some predictions over these matters, but as you probably well observed with him, there is a price to the continued use of power, and unfortunately those who have gained power recently and who are young enough to wield it without having to pay such a price, and she kind of motions toward the kid, many of them are working for those cults now.
Are the limitations on your ability to wish inherent in you and your ability to make that wish, or the deck which provides them?
The deck and I are bound together. Unfortunately, one of the means I had of enslaving it to only give me that one card involved binding it to my person and my own essence and my own will. So, I, using a manner of transferring life, take the life force from the child, draw a card, make a wish, and when that wish goes out, it drains that life away. And the transaction continues month after month, as per my bargain with my people.
Do you care about your people?
And she kind of gives you a level look and says, if I didn't, do you think I would be going through this horrible rigmarole?
Do you think your people are happy?
Have you talked to them?
They're not.
And she doesn't, she kind of gives you a skeptical look, but she's listening still, at least.
If you stood a chance to not only improve the world directly surrounding your town and improve the livelihoods of your people by removing the burden of sacrificing a child on a monthly basis,
Mm-hmm.
which is not sustainable with a town of this size, would you take it? And would you put your own life on the line for it?
She kind of, she nods and just says, what is it you want from me? Few come without a wish.
Well,
How do you think I can possibly influence the outcome of things beyond my sphere of control? And you've seen the fence, you know where my strength ends.
You know of Silas.
Yes.
We need you to use your wishes to help us stop him. If we cannot wish the amulets out of existence, we need the next best thing, which is for you to use your wish to restore the staff that we had.
And all the magical items that we
And
recently
all the
lost
magical
possession of.
items, which coincidentally had been lost in the same fell swoop.
Yes. And are you willing to lay the knife to this child to make it happen? Or are you asking me to use my last bit of life to do this?
I'm asking you to do what you think is right by your people.
Give me a
morality ethics check.
She's like, she says, you are the guests. You are the guests in my home. There are two options. I use the child to give you your wish, and I stay here in power, and can perhaps keep this town alive if you fail. Or I use my last bit of life, save one more child, and hopefully you can save the rest. I'll leave the decision up to my guests. I've grown far too tired of everyone in my town being far too willing to sacrifice the innocent in it to keep it running.
If we look at it this way, where you continue to perpetually sacrifice children on a monthly basis, a rate at which children are not produced in this
That
town.
sounds quite productive. They've seen how happy they are. It's
Fair
not
point.
birth control.
Not really proper post-guest talk. But,
Yeah.
certainly, that is not a burden that your town needs to continue to bear, nor would I consider your town safe or happy to lose a member of it every month. So, that leaves us with another option. One life, one final life, to protect the town and the area around it.
And she says, and I assume you mean mine. And she kind of gives you another very level look.
Part of the price you paid in binding this deck to yourself.
Roll persuasion.
What if we got the old man sage down here? He just wants to die, right?
Oh, I kid you not.
Oh, I see a 20.
Holy shit!
Wow.
She gives you a level look. She takes up that kind of
Wait.
wooden knife. Yeah.
To be clear, the details of this wish.
Mm-hmm.
And I proceed to list all of the items
Mm-hmm.
that need restoring.
So Santa, I want a...
No, I'm doing that. I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I list
all the
all
items,
of,
yeah.
I list all of the items.
Small bag
And-
of sand.
One
Yeah.
additional magical item each for one of us that was not there, but I say was missing.
Oh,
You
good
gotta
looking
push
out.
it. You gotta push it.
She gives you a level look. She just picks up the dagger from the table, walks over to the child, cuts the bonds. The kid runs free, takes a card, and suddenly this old withered form crumbles to dust, and a heavy weight falls back over your shoulder in your hand. You catch a staff with a glowing headpiece, and then you all suddenly feel new weights in your pockets as you receive. You lift out like a bow that seems to be kind of very well constructed, very well designed. You get a what's your weapon type?
I have a crossbow and
What's your main?
it's been so long since I've used it. And a mace.
Well, if you're mainly spellcasting, you can get a focus. So you find a spherical orb that you would hold when you cast spells, and it would take away one of your held slots. And then you get your stuff restored, but for some reason you don't feel anything new.
Fuck you.
And as you all leave the town,
I respectfully bow to the ashes
yeah,
I also bow.
yeah.
and I say, thank you for your sacrifice. Your people will not forget it. We killed your servant. Goodbye. And we walk out.
And as you leave the town, a few of the smiles seem more natural. You see the kid reunite with his family, and they're just like weeping and overjoyed. But they start kind of looking over the fence, looking towards that brick fence that's been separating them from the world. And you see some of the bricks start to crumble, and some of the iron work is starting to fall and collapse inward as like little bits of flame are getting closer. The magic seems still strong enough to hold out whatever's out there for a little bit longer. But time is probably very short for this town. The fence is starting to crumble. You all reach the Merryweather with stuff in tow. The rest of your party's like, where have you guys been? And that's where we'll end tonight.
That was an unexpected side quest.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun. That was good.
Yeah,
That was
cool.
good. That was a fun one.
It's a good side quest.
Yeah, that was interesting. Laying it all on the line, boys and girls, for that deck
Did
of
you
new
improv
things.
all that?
What's that?
Did you improv all that? That was nice.
That was good.
Amazing.
That's great.
That's